morning, Mrs. Ryan.
So much.
Hello there. Welcome back.
You too.
It feels like it's been a week, and I think that's because it's been a full week.
It's been a whole week?
It's been a whole week,
Jeez,
Wednesday to Wednesday.
I feel it.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jay Ryan. This is Nicole Ryan, but this is It's Tonight's show. Let's start with the date. Today is Wednesday, June 26, 2019. Our guest tonight is a good one. I don't know how to start there. Comedian, actor. If you don't know his name, you're going to recognize his face from all sorts of things that you watch just because he's that guy. Allan Havey is here tonight. I have been a fan of his for a very, very long time, going back to the days of Late Night with David Letterman. Mrs. Ryan, you probably know him from Mad Men.
Yeah.
Yeah. A bunch of other things. Seinfeld, Curb Your Enthusiasm. Bunch of million different things. He's going to be in here in just a few minutes. We're going to talk to him. But in the meantime, Mrs. Ryan, how the heck are you doing today? It's been a week. Let's catch up.
I am not feeling awesome.
Yeah, you look great.
Then I'm awesome.
No, I'm not saying. But what's up? Can you tell us what's going on with you?
I'm in a ton of pain,
but
and I'm just nauseous all the time.
Ooh.
So that's,
Is that new?
No, it's just I always forget to say it because it's just omniscient and omnipresent all the time.
Oh my goodness gracious!
But
well, that's a whole different thing. I'm sorry.
Getting my brain working normal.
Well, kudos on that.
Thanks.
That's a big deal. We have a couple things to check in with. Actually, one thing, but we got to check in with it in a couple different places.
Oh yeah.
We've got East Coast feed.
Awesome.
I know. Time to catch up with the East Coast feed. Maybe we'll just play them and figure it out as it goes. Yeah. I don't really have a whole lot of setup for this. We're going to check in with Danbury Chive, East Coast feed, Steve Kaz over at Ridgefield BMW. Roll it out.
Mr. and Mrs. Ryan, we got a new one today. Welcome back at Tonight Show, people. This is a beautiful GT 4 Series something or other, but it's got a few things in it. Let's just take a quick look. Let's look inside, shall we? Let's look. What's that you say?
Nuts.
That's dog food. That's a lot of dog food. That's the entire car full of dog food. It's horrible. Like, look at this, look at this, look at this. It's in the headliner, it's in the seats, it's in the subwoofer, it's all over the joint. Got the insurance adjuster here checking it out. It's as bad as it can get, I guess. Maybe a car gets totaled with dog food in it. Who knew, right? That's it. Just want to give you some random love. East Coast Feed coming to you live from the shop with a car full of dog food. Later.
Oh, my.
That
That's
must smell
awful.
horrible.
I can't even imagine. Also, I don't know if that's the bag spilled and it went everywhere, like because of whatever, or if it was a prank gone wrong. Maybe did somebody fill a car with, and we've gotten most of it out. I can't figure out exactly what it, but that is disastrous.
It's foul.
And I love the idea of a car being totaled due to dog food.
Never heard anything
no, that was
like
his
that.
point.
That's crazy.
That's his point. I love it too. Okay, let's see where they are now. Checking in with Brooke and the Kazman. Roll it out.
East Coast Speed, Brooke and the Kazman coming to you live from Golf Quest in Brookfield, Connecticut, because someone's joined the Castaways in the city, the softball team. So she has done her first game. She had 4 hits. She's never played a day of softball in her life. She's a lacrosse person. And look at this, kicking ass and taking names. Like, who is this chick? I don't even know. She's so damn athletic. Anyway, Brooke and the Kazman coming to you live on a Friday night here in Brookfield. Love you guys.
Not bad. Not bad. I'm not a sports ball person, so I don't understand all of those terms, but she was definitely swinging at balls, some sort of baseball, softball type situation.
Yeah, a batting cage.
Yeah. Okay, so I will say this. The place they were at is called Golf Quest, as he mentioned. I lived there as a kid when it was, this sounds like so crazy. I remember when it was brand new and built. It was with Sarah at the time. My dad had just died, and it was like, oh, look, a fun thing. It wasn't just golf. It was everything. They were supposed to have go-karts and batting cages and all sorts of different
like a
things.
whole amusement area.
Yeah, in a place where there just isn't anything. Brookfield, Connecticut, New Milford, Danbury, Connecticut. There just isn't much there.
Very quiet, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, there was the Danbury Fair when I was a kid, which was like the big state fair, where we would see like the Paul Newman race cars and all that stuff. But that's been going since like 1980, 85 maybe. Long time.
Oh my.
So anyway, it's kind of neat. One more. Do you want to do that today or save it for tomorrow?
Save it for tomorrow.
Okay. In that case, Mrs. Ryan, it's time to ask the question that's on everyone's mind.
Dun, 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 dun.
What's going on, Mrs. Ryan? Dun, 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 dun.
There was a study done recently that threw everyone in the study on their head. That's not.
That's good.
Yeah. It started small in Finland of dropping wallets to see who would return it.
Oh, I remember
And
this.
the shocking, wonderful news of like how honest people are is what came out.
It was a study of we'll drop wallets and a social study to see what people do, right? Do they pocket it? Do they give it back? Do they take the money? All the different things that someone could do. And they were studying them, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and they went as far as to like up the dollar amount to see if that would change it, and it only made people turn in wallets more.
Oh, up the dollar, what was in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So
awesome.
it really just was awesome news where like people are more honest than you think. They turn in wallets that may just have nothing in it and like just to do good. So that was great news to come out of the study.
Yeah.
And that was from University of Michigan.
Your alma mater. Very nice.
So I was super, super excited to read the good news. San Francisco is the first city to ban e-cigarettes.
Oh, man, I read that this morning. What do you think?
I think it's hard to enforce, but the way they're going about it is you can't send stuff there either to the zip codes of San Francisco.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's really something.
Yeah, they're going hard. It's more for like the industry of it.
And I heard it was really, it's not like a hard line in the sand. It's until there is some sort of regulation, right? Until they can figure out how much damage is this doing, et cetera.
It seems temporary. It seems like there's a lot of like legal, not sure what to do, but they're exploring it.
There is a lot of that these days, everywhere.
Everywhere. But they're at least taking a stand and saying we're not into it.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Keith Olbermann, who I don't know a lot about personally, but he was a big and just like he talked a lot of politics and sports.
As I recall, he was one of the, growing up in Connecticut, he was one of the ESPN guys way back in the day. And then I recall him getting a talk show on like MSNBC or one of those channels, I don't really recall. And then at some point he just blew up and became like Mr. Political Guy. And I didn't really realize that was going to happen from him. He's very intelligent, very smart guy.
That's all I knew him from. And so the ESPN stuff was like a nice refresher. But all of it to say like he's out of all of the games. And just is using social media to like foster saving pets and dogs.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
Yeah, he's turned a corner like crazy.
Well, there was some controversy. I think he lost his show for some reason. Either something he said or did or a Me Too. I don't want to say the wrong thing because I don't remember what it was, but he didn't just step away, right?
I don't believe so.
Yeah.
He was part of the hubbub.
Not like a Bill O'Reilly, but, same kind of the thing where whatever, he's doing his own thing now, self-producing now.
Yeah.
So,
Either
but
way,
he's using that forum of his self-producing to help animals.
Yeah, he's like, it's not about me. He got a dog late in life because he's allergic to them, but he found out that he could have hypoallergenic dogs and stuff. So he feels a new kind of awareness of the animal population, and he wants to share that with everyone.
Cool, good.
So he's using his whatever access he has through social media. He cut out most of it, but he's like still big on Twitter, and he's like just directing people to animal shelters and saving animals.
Well, good for Keith Olbermann. Yeah, that's
Lemonade,
very cool in
man.
general.
Lemonade. We're all. I think the lesson I took from this is like we're all screwed up humans sometimes. Like just do the best you can. And he's doing it, so I want to support that.
At the very least, that's a great message.
And lastly, my favorite diner in the Valley for sure, but I think it might be my all-time. Bob's
Whoa.
Big Boy is 70.
That's your favorite.
I love the atmosphere of it, and I have really great memories from there. So the food, it might not be the food, but I have really nice memories of it.
Sure.
But the one over here in Burbank is turning 70.
That's cool.
So if you eat there, you can get a 70-cent hot fudge cake, which is their like signature
dessert. Do you know if that's the original one? I've always heard, that's the original one, or maybe it's the last of the original ones. I don't really know myself.
As far as I know, that's the original that was
original
originally
Bob's Big
Bob's
Boy.
Pantry.
Oh, look at that. You do know further than I.
Yeah. So, and it was there in 1936. So
Nice.
there was a lot of stories of people that have been there a while celebrating 70.
Beautiful. Oh, and that's been... Hello? Yes? Nope, she's not here. And that's been What's Going On. Good job, Mrs. Ryan. Bravo. That has been the news and What's Going On with Mrs. Ryan. We're going to take a quick break. When we get back, Mr. Allan Havey will be sitting in that chair right there. Don't go anywhere. More to come right after this.
There's my key light.
All right, well, we are sitting here with Allan Havey. We're back. How are you, Allan
I'm
Havey?
I'm good.
Thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for having me. This is so interesting. This is Letterman's old desk.
Yeah,
right?
Now, did you do this? I know you did the show so many times over the years.
I did
do you remember
5.
This version?
Yeah, I did 5 on NBC and 5 on CBS.
Wow.
So, yeah, no, it looks very familiar. I got something in the Letterman auction as well.
In the auction? Sure,
Yeah.
What was it?
I got the band.
Oh, you got the band.
Yeah, they're living at my home. High maintenance, they eat a lot, but nice guys. And anytime I want them to whip something up, like a theme song when I'm going to get milk or something, you know, or I'm going in with the wife for some evening coitus. I have them play a ballad, or if my cat's playing, do something upbeat. You know, it's kind of crazy.
Do you remember I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker? You remember that movie?
Yes, of course.
He had his own theme music.
When that Life magazine, Mr. Nostalgia, Mr. Old School.
That's me.
Yeah. I was alive when that came out. I remember seeing that, okay?
69?
Yeah. I played against Sam. I was born in 54.
Well, I wasn't implying that you wouldn't remember it or unable to. I didn't know if you knew the movie. It was a part in that where you got
If I didn't know the movie, I didn't know Woody Allen movie. I'm in the comedy business.
No, isn't I'm Gonna Get You Suckers the Wayans brothers, isn't it?
No, I was talking about played against Sam. Yeah. I'm going to get you I'm going to get you sucker. You know.
People reference that all the time, of course, because it's here, and I have never even seen Play It Again, Sam.
What?
To me, this
okay,
is...
let's stop the show.
To
Get
me,
out.
This is
Nicole, sit in the host chair. Go get a VHS of Play It Again, Sam.
Did you ever see the Aaron Sorkin TV series Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip?
Yeah, I was enjoying it for a while.
So was
and
I.
then it was yanked.
Same here.
Because it showed comedy, you know, guys at the table read the dark side. It was fantastic.
Agreed. It was my favorite show at the time, and the same thing happened. This was in the Matthew Perry as character's office.
And you got this in an auction?
Not everything is an auction.
Yeah. You watch television and go, I want that poster.
No, but when
you watch Deadwood and say, let's buy that horse. You know.
If only that's how it worked. That's not what we're about, yo.
All right. Well, I remember from Late Night with David Letterman.
Yeah.
Let's just start there.
Well, how can we? What reminds us of Letterman? The damn desk.
Well,
this should have gone to Smithsonian. This should not be in Toluca Lake.
They didn't want it. We tried that.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, you know what they
great.
said? Smithsonian is not America's attic or something like that was the response.
The Charlie Rose table was going to go there. Did you know that? It was on its way, and then now it's at an Applebee's in Virginia. It lost all its value.
I always thought Kevin Pollak was using it now for his chat show.
But zing.
Trying to establish a timeline. What?
Why? Do we have to go linear here?
No.
Okay, I was born in St. Louis.
Okay. Is it true?
Yeah, born in St. Louis. Big Cardinal fan.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
I thought New York.
Raised in Miami, and then New York. But I was born. My brother said I was born a New Yorker because I always wanted to go.
The attitude.
I guess at 8, more the desire and then the attitude, you know, stuff like that. So that's where I made my bones.
Did you always know comedy? Did you know that?
Yeah, I always.
You knew that you were gonna.
Yeah, I always knew comedy.
Did you know that? That's
I knew it from
where you were gonna go.
Oh, I came out of my mother's womb, and the doctors were screaming. Here's my thing. Nobody knows comedy. People have their own opinion of what's funny and what's not, but nobody knows comedy. I mean, I'm not trying to be difficult here, but somebody
failing.
Well, good.
No, you keep me on my toes.
But you know what I mean. Someone said that to me recently, within the last year, at the table at the Comedy Store in New York, and I was in there. I wasn't working that night, but I had like half a martini, gin, so I was feeling old and mean. And he goes, "I know comedy. I know what works and what doesn't." And I just went, "Ha!"
Yeah.
I was pretty loud, and I apologized later because I was arguing with an idiot. But he said he knew comedy. You know, nobody knows comedy. Mel Brooks, Woody Allen, Ricky Gervais. We all, try something we think is funny, and not everything works.
It's a weird thing to say that you know comedy.
Yeah. The more I do it, the less I know.
Yeah.
Ooh,
it's kind of
that sounds
interesting.
like a very adult perspective.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Damn it.
It sounds very enlightened, almost like the less you know, the more you know. The more you're willing to admit you don't know.
Yeah, but we don't know what we don't know. So we don't know it because we don't know it. So what the hell? I
Well,
did read that thing about the wallets, people leaving wallets.
Yeah.
It's nice that people are empathetic, but also what kind of neighborhoods were they leaving it in? If you leave it in low-income neighborhoods, that money's gone.
I read it was
Different.
like 10,000 different wallet drops all over the world in different places, right? Is that what you...
I heard 70,000
Oh,
wallets
70,000.
all over the world, 40 countries.
Wow.
So it's a lot. I mean, that's
Yeah.
a big survey base.
It's not. I think people basically push come to shove are good. With many exceptions, and we see the news, and that's where they put them.
Yeah.
So we'll click more, and corporations will make more money.
Are you into all that? Are you in the social
No.
media and the clicking and
No.
the phones and all that
No.
stuff? Yeah.
I mean,
How
every
do you
now and then
avoid
I read it. I put the phone down. It's
Bravo.
crazy. I
So
put
easy, isn't it?
The phone down. Yeah, it is. Not for a lot of people, but
Is it the addiction? They're addicted to all the stuff they get out of it?
Yes, they are addicted. They're made to be addictive. And the studies have shown recently that it causes high level of stress hormone in the body. Even when you have your phone next to you, and you hear that ping or that anticipation. So we live very stressful lives, but there's more on that gizmo about how to de-stress. When people say they have a meditation app, I go,
Oh, my gosh.
You balanced, it's zero gain right there.
Yep. You're freebasing or whatever that one is, when you balance it with a high up and a down.
It's
and a
good to
lower.
meditate. I've been meditating for about 8 years. It's been huge.
Is that true?
Yeah. But
What made you start? What made you go to that?
3 different friends from 3 different areas of my life told me they had started meditating. So I took that as kind of, oh, that's interesting. That's kind of a sign.
Were you able to see the differences in those people from the before and after they started meditating?
Kind of, yeah.
Enough that you
Some
were willing to try.
changed a little bit. Some changed a lot. But, so I started, a buddy gave me a disc of an Englishman, I forget the guy's name, who talks you through.
Mhm.
It's not TM. I have my own mantra, and I do it on my own time. And it's really helped. With
once a day?
Yeah.
Twice a day? Yeah.
Once a day. Get up, do the morning pages. Did you read The Artist's Way?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So from that, Julia Cameron's book, I do 3 stream of conscious pages in an old composition book that we all had in 6th grade. Or maybe you didn't.
I did. The black and white ones, yeah, with the lines.
Yes, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I just go. It's great. It gets out a lot of anger, a lot of stress. It helps.
Well, your comedy is, I wouldn't call it angry. And again, I'm probably going back, I don't know what lately, but the comedy I grew up with was not so much angry, but edgy. Would edgy be fair?
You know what? That would be your call. I wouldn't affix any label to my comedy. I wouldn't say I'm a good or a bad comedian or an edgy comedian or contemporary. That's not, once I do it, it's gone. It doesn't belong to me anymore.
Really?
Yeah, it's the audience. It's your perception of whatever you've seen, whether it's acting or stand-up. I just kind of, like when a painter paints a painting and he puts it out, it's not his anymore.
Right.
It's everybody's. That's been my kind of philosophy.
Did you always have that perspective, though?
No.
Because not everyone shares that perspective.
No, I didn't. This is mine. This is mine. It's my stuff. This is mine. I worked
So-and-so
hard.
changed it, yeah.
You're going to pay attention now. I didn't get enough attention. You're going to listen to me.
Right.
Damn it.
That's,
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it the normal, but I mean,
No.
there's a lot of people out there like that.
And that's fine. That's normal. But you get rid of the little boy or little girl or little transgender inside you. By the way, I just want to let you know I identify as a male.
Okay.
Unless I'm performing on a cruise ship and it starts to go down. Then I'm a 12-year-old girl from Spain. That's out of the act. I just thought I'd slide it in organically.
First on the lifeboat, is that the joke there?
Or third,
But
as long as I'm on the lifeboat. My name is Carmen. Donde está lifeboats? If you want to, I'm fluid. I can fluid. I can fluid in a time of crisis. A lot of people can't. That comes from meditation. When it's a time of crisis, you can fluid into a 12-year-old girl and just shove old ladies out of your way.
So you've got meditation to thank for that.
Yes.
Hypnosis?
Yeah. What?
You ever do hypnosis?
No, I don't want to. I don't want to know what's underneath the
What's
plywood
really
and the lawn of my brain. In our minds, it's like a big grass field, and it's green and fertile. But there's a big piece of plywood that's been laying on that grass, and you lift it up, and it's dark, and there's slugs. Remember that as a kid?
Oh, yeah.
You drop that. I don't want to go in there.
Under the kiddie pool or
No.
whatever. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's plywood. Stay with me
It
on
has
this.
to be plywood?
What did I just say? This is my thing.
Sorry.
You want to change it into a kiddie pool? You're gonna. My God, you thief!
I unintentionally peppered it with my childhood. Forgive me.
Excuse me. Let me have an all-American Mexican Cup.
Seriously.
Hope you're enjoying
So
it.
good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the reason I was asking
I am,
about Letterman
thank you.
before, and I misasked the question, which ended up on a gigantic tangent. Did you always know that you wanted to go towards comedy? Did you know at an early age when you were a kid that that's the direction I'm gonna head?
I love making people laugh, but as a growing up, I wanted to be an actor. Stand up seemed kind of hard, so I wanted to be an actor. And that's I went to community college after high school to go to major in theater.
Is this in New York at this point?
Miami.
Still Miami. Okay.
Miami-Dade North Campus. He just built a new theater. Great professors. A great group of people in my class and who would come to audition for plays. I came from a all-Catholic grade school, boys and girls, then an all-boys Catholic high school. So college was my first non-Catholic institution. And that's where I go, oh, these are my people. Men, women, gay, straight, every ethnicity.
Finally got a potpourri.
Yeah, age. Some older people in the community would come and audition for plays. People in their 30s.
That's
I had
cool.
kissed my first cougar in college. That kind of thing. It was like it couldn't have been better. It was just perfect environment for me because I knew the world I grew up in. I really didn't want to be in. Go to school, get married, have kids, and retire. That kind of thing. Get a regular job.
Right in the box.
Yeah.
Not your jam.
What?
Not your jam.
It wasn't my jam, man. That life was crazy as balls.
Oh man.
For reals. What are we gonna talk like that? I'm sorry, you're a young woman. You're not that young a man, but you're a young woman.
Yeah, I look a lot older than her, don't I? It's pretty close.
Not a lot older, just a little bit. Don't beat yourself up.
I think this whole process is aging both of us.
Am I being difficult?
No, not today.
Yeah.
I mean, having.
I've seen some of your other guests. It was a drag, man. I'm sorry. I think I'm bringing a little pizzazz.
Okay.
Should have brought me out with some music. Liven it up. Confetti.
Liven it up a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh, we have bubbles. You want
Yeah.
some bubbles? There we go.
Wow.
Confetti.
Bubbles.
I love it. He says confetti.
Did that come with the desk? The bubble machine?
Sure. Yeah. Of course.
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
No.
But we had to get him because.
It's great. I can't believe you snagged this Letterman desk. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, not a big bubble fan, but
Yeah, no, they're
thank
not.
you.
Yeah, you asked for. See, everything rhymes. You asked for confetti, I give you bubbles.
Everything rhymes?
Well, not literally. Okay. Not literally.
Not literally?
Not literally.
All right.
I want to know if you always were going to do this. If you knew at an early age, you like people laughing and you wanted to be an actor, but what the hell? How did you get into?
It's not that hard a transition from actor to stand up. I don't think.
Well, okay.
Well, here's what happened. I'll give you the
For
whole
me,
scoop.
I think it's usually the other way around, isn't it?
Yes.
People try to be a stand-up and then they fall into acting somehow.
You don't fall into it. You got to hack your way through.
Okay.
Yeah, but I guess you can fall your way into it. People on reality shows become actors.
That's true.
Hosts become comedians when their managers say, you can make a lot of money in stand-up. No, I started in kindergarten. Excuse me. A Catholic kindergarten. We had a graduation ceremony. One boy would be selected to play the priest. One girl played the nun. And they brought in a huge tape recorder into the kindergarten class. And it was massive. And I realized, this is show business. And I was one of the last kids to go, so I watched everybody get up. And you had to say your name and speak loudly and clearly. And so all the kids are going up, and I'm back there waiting. I go, this is show business. And so I get up, and then they played it back. We all heard our voices for the first time. And then I come on, and then I come on. My name is Allan Havey. And everybody looked at me, and I nailed my first audition. So I got cast as a priest. I did the thing. And this is 1960. This is there was an expression back then. It was more of a real philosophy. Children were seen and not heard.
Yeah.
You heard about that.
I grew up with it, yeah.
Okay, so did I. So when you see all these adults looking at you, smiling and laughing, I blew a couple lines. A priest patted me on the head and said he was almost as good as me. And I realized the value. It was so much fun to make people laugh. So I told my first joke at the dinner table, and that went over real well. So in class, any opening I got, I looked for. So I've been working at getting laughs since kindergarten.
Yeah,
you
all
know,
through the school. Wow. And were you able to make your teachers laugh as well?
sometimes, not usually, but they were nuns, some nuns. But
Oh,
you know,
yeah, of
if you
course,
knew you made the
gosh.
teacher laugh, here's the thing: you can make your parents laugh, and they laugh, and then they slap you for being a wise ass. It's no fair. You already laughed.
Mixed messages, man.
I gave you joy,
It's
man.
mixed messages.
Yeah, very mixed message. So it really f's you up for this business.
Well, is that part of it, though? It seems like everybody who's in this business started out a little effed up.
Everybody who walks the street is effed up.
Okay,
Everybody
fair
in every single occupation, socioeconomic situation, every demographic, people are screwed up. We're all damaged, which is normal because we're human beings, and it's, life is difficult. You know.
I do. I agree with you. Did you always have that perspective?
No,
Okay.
no,
Did
of course
that,
not.
When did you get that?
On the drive over here in the
Oh,
traffic.
really?
It was really hard.
Yeah.
I go, wait a minute. When anybody's I was inconvenienced. I shouldn't be inconvenienced.
That's right.
No, you grow. Part of that comes with meditation. But I read a book when I was a young man, The Road Less Traveled by M. Scott Peck. And it's the first sentence in his life is difficult. It's one of the 4 truths from Buddha. Life is suffering, and and I said, what?
Yeah.
And I thought about, oh no, life is difficult. Once you accept that life is difficult, it actually makes it a little easier for you.
There's the understanding, right?
I tell people, if you crawl out of rubble in L.A. after an earthquake, you can say, you can be upset, but you can't say, why me? You can never say, why me in this world for anything, because, we sit
Why
back.
not you, right?
Exactly. Or, people use that when they get successful. Well, why not me? It's kind of an ego thing. But, you're in the Midwest, tornadoes, you got floods, you got earthquakes happening in here.
Yeah. Stuff everywhere.
You don't need to go far. There's fires north of me in Santa Monica. I see people losing their homes,
Oh, yeah.
losing everything, So you can, so I'm very grateful. Gratitude is another thing that comes
Again,
from
you're
meditation.
saying all the stuff that we agree with and align with nowadays, but that wasn't always the case for us. So I'm just wondering, what was it? The meditation? Did something happen in your life that
I was grateful
everything
before
at
that.
once? That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, when I got to New York, it was like, oh, finally I'm here. I said, what can I do? Or it was kind of, what
Did that
can
feel
life
like
do for
making
me?
it from Miami-Dade? Did
Yes.
that feel like making it just simply stepping foot in Manhattan?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was the smartest move I ever made. I was just did a benefit once, and one of the women after the show introduced me to her young daughter. She's like 23, 24. And I said, what are you doing? She was, I moved to New York a year ago. And I thought, the best move you could ever make.
Wow.
Whatever business you're going in, whatever endeavor you wish to do, or if you don't know what you want to do, I say to young people, if you can get some money together, get a roommate, beg,
Just to
borrow, or
experience the
steal.
city? Is that what it is?
Yes, go to New York because that's where life is. And that's where the world is,
Interesting.
in my opinion.
Well, that was your perspective, though, coming from somewhere else, moving there.
Growing up in the 60s, watching Carson, my dad would wake me up to watch Carson when I was 8, because
if there was somebody on, or
it
just
doesn't
in
matter.
general?
He just liked to have me watching it.
So
He
you
loved
went
it.
to bed at 8 o'clock or something, and he wake you up.
No,
at
I didn't go to bed at
11:30?
8 o'clock. I was a night owl.
Well, what?
I wasn't sleeping. I was in bed.
But he would get you up at 11:30 for Carson.
Yeah, sneak out. He'd go in and take a nap with my mom, and then we'd go out and watch Carson.
Wow.
He'd come in and wake me up. The joke is if he had molested me, I'd be an agent. So I got lucky.
Did you ever get to either be on Carson, see
No,
Carson?
no.
Really?
I was on Carson. That's part of a one-man show I'm doing, so I might do that in the future. I may not. It's kind of difficult. But
Okay.
I connect my father and Carson. They're almost like the same person in a way.
Wow.
Yeah. I did a festival in Johnny Carson's hometown. We all got to sign our names on the wall of his childhood home.
Was it Omaha, Nebraska?
Yeah,
Or
outside.
outside, okay.
And I wrote my father's name.
Wow.
That's
how much.
awesome.
Yeah, that his name was on there. Because my father wanted to be in this business.
This is
I
me too.
realized
You're
this.
describing me as well.
My father, and he didn't do it. And I think he lived a life of regret.
Yes.
And I think he was very proud of me, very happy, supportive, but also in a way jealous,
So your father got to see your successes in the business. He
Yeah,
loved
he
enough.
saw me on the new show, the Lorne Michaels show. He saw me on that. He saw me perform live a couple times. I did him proud. So that was good.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, and I was with both my parents at the time of their passing, so I was able to say things to them on their way out. So I don't have that. I mean, if you can be with your parents at their moment of passing, as difficult as it is, that saves billions of dollars in therapy.
Yeah.
You know, if you're that lucky. I was lucky that they didn't go quickly or unexpected.
My story was very, very parallel, except my dad passed away when I was 18, fresh out of high school, fresh out of doing a little show like this at the high school and the whole thing, and he wanted to see me succeed in it, and something happened, and I threw it away for 20 years, and it's only now coming back out. So that's why I'm so interested.
Was it a sudden death?
It was 2 months.
Yeah.
It was not a car accident, it was cancer, but it happened real quick.
Mm-hmm. What a drag, man.
Yeah.
No, it is.
No, so that's why I was asking you.
But
about
at least he
being able
saw you
see
to
your
18
success and stuff.
He saw you at 18.
Yeah, I was not.
I know people that
together,
lost their parents at 7, at 12.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, so you love. Did you real quick? Did you see the Paul Reiser show? The Here's Johnny. Or
No,
There's
no.
Johnny. Here's Johnny, or whatever it is.
There's Johnny.
I recommend it.
Okay.
It's on Hulu. It's fun. And
Yeah,
it puts you back in 1972 when they moved the Tonight Show out here. It's
Okay.
kinda
It
neat.
feels very real, and not having done it myself, but it feels very authentic.
Yeah, I definitely want to check it out. But there's so much television to watch.
Yeah.
There is, people say, have you seen Big Little Lies? I go, I'd love to. I just don't have the time.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get to it. I always feel when I'm retired, I can watch Game of Thrones, Most people say when you get older, you got to be active. Now, when I get older, I want to sit in the house and catch up on all the crap I miss.
There isn't enough time.
No.
You're swimming in content.
Yes.
All right. Since we're talking late night stuff, talk show stuff,
You are. I'm not.
I know you're specifically avoiding it. So
I'm
maybe I
no,
get
I'm
to one
not.
you might
I'm not
wanna talk
avoiding it.
about.
I'm an open nerve.
What about your late night talk show, night after night?
Oh,
What about it?
What
Can we
a-
talk about that?
no. Oh, yeah, we can talk about it. Let me go back to Letterman for a second.
Oh, sure.
November 13th, 1986. That was my debut.
Is your first?
That's how important. I remember the date. Since then, 13's been my lucky number. It has proved to be my lucky number. 2013 was one of my best years ever.
No kidding.
So that's when. So Letterman was very important to get on Letterman.
Was that something you worked towards, or did
Yes.
it just pop up? Okay,
Yes.
So I want to be on
Yes.
Letterman. I want to be on Letterman.
Oh no, it was just that. Same thing with Mad Men.
really?
Same thing with in New York when I was a young guy. I was frustrated, and I go, I got to do something no one can say no to, something good. So back then I would have started my own podcast if there were podcasts.
Sure.
So I decided to train and run the New York Marathon in 1980. And
Whoa.
I did it. And I'm not that guy. I go, I can't be the guy I was because I was a classic underachiever.
So
in
what is
school.
this about? Setting a goal and achieving it?
Exactly.
Working towards an
I
achievement?
got to do this. And so I did it. I did 80, 81, and 82. So that was good. I got that out of my system.
You did it.
That
3
really
different
helped.
marathons.
Yeah.
Holy smokes!
But it's the first one that said, I realized anything I put my mind to, I can do eventually. It's going to be hard, but that's, So in a way, I had to reinvent myself because I was a underachiever in school. I didn't do well. I did 2 tours of 7th grade. I had and looking back, a friend of mine pointed out, I got 2 concussions in 6th grade, one playing football and one playing with other kids. And I had trouble focusing. And I realize now that's probably part of the problem.
Yes.
But also in November of 63, my dad took my brother and my 2 sisters to the airport to see John Kennedy.
Whoa.
And we saw Kennedy. He was with Jackie.
What, like at the fence? You're looking.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
No, I tried to get. My brother got up and shook his hand. My older brother Steve, classic overachiever, by the way.
That's Steve.
But I'm looking at Kennedy. We're Catholics. He's the closest thing to Jesus I'm looking at. He's in color. First time I saw him in color.
Right. Oh my God! Not on television.
And 3 days later, he was assassinated in Dallas. So that was huge in my life.
Whoa, that's so close.
Yeah, and I didn't realize it then, but I realize now, when did the apathy start? And it was like when the nuns, the priests, my parents, Walter Cronkite, could not explain to me why he was shot, why the most powerful Catholic in the world and man in the world was killed. He was Catholic. I thought God watched over him. So that's when I realized this is bullshit. I didn't articulate that then, but I think it clicked in. No, this is
Veil lifted for you.
Yeah, the world doesn't work the way I've been taught. Because I played the game.
Right.
I was a good boy. I studied hard. I figured I'd go to heaven. You know, everything's going to work out. It doesn't. And when he took that was huge. Huge. Shattered my whole world.
Yeah.
And everyone else's,
life at the
you
time,
know.
I would imagine.
What?
It was the biggest timestamp in your life at that point, right?
At that
Because
point.
It affected everybody.
Yeah. Well, the graduation, then the assassination, then the Beatles came.
Yeah,
In
the same year,
64.
that's right.
No, February
Okay.
of 64. And, of course, Cassius Clay beating Sonny Liston. That was huge. A.K.A. Muhammad Ali. A.K.A. Muhammad Ali. But I remember Cassius Clay because he was a little guy compared to Sonny Liston, and the little guy won. You know, people kept saying, oh, Cassius Clay is too skinny. Of course, he wasn't, but compared to Liston, nobody thought he would win, and he did.
Do you know much about sports? I mean, you're mentioning
A
boxing.
little
Do you
bit,
know
yeah.
a little
No,
bit?
I like sports.
Okay.
Keith Olbermann and I are buddies.
Oh, really?
You know, he used to be a local anchor out here at KTLA, Channel
I didn't
5.
know
No
that.
kidding.
I know, you didn't do your homework.
Well,
You're
I
sitting there
didn't know it
talking
was
about
gonna
Keith
come
Olbermann.
Wasn't he? Am I wrong though? Wasn't he on at ESPN up in Connecticut?
Yeah, then he went to
Okay,
ESPN.
That's where I came in.
And then he went to MSNBC, and then he went to GQ Television.
Oh.
Then he's back at ESPN now,
Okay.
dropping in, and yeah, it's great this dog and cat thing. You know,
Yeah.
it is.
He's raising a lot of awareness for
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
and he's a powerful, intelligent guy, very knowledgeable about a lot of things:
Yeah.
history, entertainment.
It seems that.
He knows a lot about
sports.
even this stuff.
He's in what?
Talk shows and this whole variety.
Yes, he
he knows.
knows. He's just very smart, very knowledgeable. So I've been a big fan, and he doesn't pull his punches.
How do you know him?
He gave us a favorable review on Night After Night, my talk show. And so I sent him a letter, I called him or something like that. So we had dinner, and then we became friends, you know, over the years.
Your show-
Haven't seen him in a while, but he's always had me on his show. I had him as an audience of one member.
Did you
on
really?
He still has the hat.
Come on.
No, he's kind of a geek that way.
This was a running gag on his show. Was it weekly? Weekly
It
show?
was it was nightly.
It was
Strip
nightly,
show,
night
yeah.
after night.
It wasn't a gag. We had an audience of one.
And it was on HBO?
No, it was on Comedy Channel, then Comedy Central.
Comedy Central, that's right.
Yeah,
Comedy Channel that became Comedy Central
yeah.
later.
We made the transition. Ran just over 3 years.
I remember the show. I remember it. I was obsessed at that time with all of this stuff. So I watched everything that was a talk show or everything that looked like one.
People your age in the business come up occasionally and say how much they love the show and stuff like that. It's very gratifying.
Yeah?
We had a lot of fun. I was with good producers, good writers, good crew. It was a lot of fun.
I watched your last episode this morning in preparation for you arriving, which is mainly a clip show. Of,
Right.
You know, it's sort of the best ofs. I couldn't believe the amount of people you had on that
Yeah.
show, and I guess a nightly show for 3 years. You did a shit ton of episodes. I'm guessing
Absolutely.
600 episodes.
Like
or something.
465, something like that, 470.
Whoa.
How
yeah.
did doing the nightly grind work for you?
It was difficult, you know. I didn't want to do it.
4 a week or full 5?
5, and I think I went to 4 later. But it's not something I wanted to do. So when I auditioned, I didn't give a crap, and I think that appealed to them.
Probably why you got it.
I was at the time I was smoking, and you know, but it worked out, and we had fun, you know.
Did you enjoy that show? I mean,
For
I
the
don't-
most
forgive
of
me
it,
if
I
it's
mean, it
not
was
a
tough
good-
because there was an original producer on the show who kind of started other shows, so I felt kind of abandoned, and I was kind of watching my back, and I had anger issues, which, you know, from my father, who was very loving but also very angry. So I was taught by a master how to lose your shit
Yeah.
at the drop of a paperclip.
You betcha.
I know that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we had a good time on the show. And everybody that worked on the show has gone on to do bigger and better things.
Creatively, was that a lot of you? Was what that
Yeah,
show
a little bit of me,
was?
yeah. But it's, you know, Carson said something interesting. Getting back to Johnny Carson, he said, the show is about the man behind the desk. So it was an offshoot of my interests, and then the writers, of course, and the producers would suggest stuff, and
But everything, even the way your set was set up, you had the desk and you had the chairs, but they weren't set up like the desk and chairs. You set it up almost like an office or
it was
like a
behind
detective
me. I
office.
wanted my chair to be in front of the desk. I had a
Yes.
little bed there in case I wanted to take a nap.
It was a great set.
Yeah,
it was the anti-talk.
yeah,
show.
it was,
You still had all the pieces, but they were set up differently.
Yeah, Nick Miller designed and built the set, and he came in and did that, and the
Where-
lighting was great.
Where'd you
and
do it?
We did it at 23rd Street, HBO Downtown Studios. I don't know what they use it for now.
Is it
In New York?
Yeah,
Oh,
New
no
York.
kidding.
So that
I
was
thought it
great.
was out here. That's
And I
great.
got car service home every night, so that was fun. I made some nice money. I met a few girls. Everything was great.
Did you live in the city when you were doing the show?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was great.
That
And I
must
was
have been
doing stand-up every weekend
Oh god.
because I wasn't going to give up stand-up.
Did that make you even bigger? Because here's the guy. He's
Hey,
doing
my
stand-up,
ego
and
is
you had the
huge.
show.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine the ego?
Well, no. I'm
Oh.
being serious because it would inflate mine a little bit.
Oh,
I think.
yeah.
You'd have
Well,
to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, but I also realized all this is going to end someday, so enjoy it. I
You have
didn't
that
think it would go on forever. I knew that. This too shall pass, the whole Abraham Lincoln wisdom. So there were many, many times going home. This is great. I love this.
Was 3 years about right for you then?
Yeah, I could have gone on a couple more.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like Coke. It's like a couple more
Oh,
lines.
so you did enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I enjoyed
With
it.
the grind.
I enjoyed running it and working with people and, meeting guests. We had Tupac Shakur on before
Oh,
he
wow.
hit.
You did?
Yeah. Can't
a big
find the
deal.
interview. It's so, I can find Nipsey Russell, but I can't find Tupac. So young guys go, you interviewed Tupac, you got to get that interview. I go, it's out
luck.
there.
It's out
yeah,
there
it's out there somewhere. I don't watch the show. I don't. Someone just told me recently that this Bob Dylan fan tracked down all of his set lists, like in his whole career,
Wow.
and he
Whoa.
put them in a binder and he collected them. And someone who knew Dylan got him onto his tour bus at some city, and he went in. He goes, and he handed it to Bob Dylan,
No.
and supposedly Dylan said, "Nostalgia's death," And it's funny. When I was younger, I was more nostalgic, even in my
Oh, whoa.
teens,
Interesting.
in my 20s, and I'm much less nostalgic now.
I'm finding that only recently with me shedding a little bit of it because I am very nostalgic also.
Yeah.
Do you think part of that is age and seeing that everything is sort of cyclical and nothing does last forever? See,
I guess
dealing with loss, watching things go away.
Yeah, I try not to think about it or analyze it. I just accept it.
Okay.
Because I'm not into, hey, let's get together. I went to one high school reunion 20 year. It was great. I don't want to go back.
You're good.
I've never done
Yeah,
that.
I'm good. And especially with Facebook. Okay,
Yeah.
you're doing
Oh,
this.
that's the same,
Your kid
yeah.
got a plaque. Good for you. Blah blah blah.
Why do we need to talk about it?
Yeah, we don't.
Overpunch.
Here's the thing, kids. When you go to your high school reunion, where's my camera? Do I have a camera I'm
You
looking
betcha,
straight
right,
into?
yeah.
Which one?
Four.
This one?
Four.
You go back to your high school reunion. When people start to sing commercial jingles, that's time to leave.
Time to go.
Or TV show jingles, that's time to leave. Just sing one and then put your drink down and get the hell out of there.
Takes a turn at that point.
Yeah. No, I just, it was fun, though. I went to, that's another thing I'm very fortunate. Went to grade school, high school, and college with good people. I was around good people. So that
On
was.
purpose or just that's
No,
how-
I
that's how
didn't
life
pick them
works?
out. Yeah. I went to a few classrooms and looked around and went, no, not these.
Well, no, but you
Not
choose
these.
who you associate with.
Not in school. They put you in school. If you when I entered college, I didn't choose. this is a group of people in my class, that I'm around doing projects with. So I was fortunate, talented people, more passionate people, ambitious, great. But they were, I guess the main thing would be passionate about what they were doing, taking it seriously,
That's awesome.
having fun, but taking it seriously. So I learned a lot.
Is that something you relate to? I mean, it seems like you take all of your work seriously just from watching it.
Not as serious as, yeah, I guess I do. I mean, the
Especially
Letterman.
if you take something that you and work towards it. I mean, if you wanted to get on Letterman and then you worked your ass off to go do it.
You
and
want it to
got
be good, yeah. See, you want to do good work. When I do stand up, I just finished a week in Vegas at the Comedy Cellar there.
Nice.
2 shows a night,
How's
7
the new
nights.
room? That's a new room.
It's great.
You're good.
But these people are not going. Maybe most of these people are never going to see you again. So you want to do a good job.
It's their night out.
It's their night out, and you have
their
a
memories,
responsibility to do a good job.
Yeah.
So I enjoy being a professional because I learned all the rules when I was a kid watching Carson. Before I hit the age of 15, I knew all the rules of show business,
What do
all
you
the
mean by
protocol.
that? What do you mean by that? By watching Carson? You watching the old guys?
Yeah,
Like
the old. You get to the show on time, no matter what it takes.
Mm-hmm.
If you're sick, you go on. You know your lines, and it's all pretty basic and simple.
Yeah.
It sounds it. It's not
showing
always easy.
No, it's not easy, but it's not
much.
complicated.
Right.
Like today, it was very important for me to get here on time. Now, you guys would be fine. Hey, it's in our home. If you're 15 minutes late, that's one thing, but then you get into a habit.
Yes.
You got to.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, if you want to practice being a professional, if you want to be a professional, practice being a professional. If you want to be a nice person, practice being a nice person, even though you may not be.
It's so impressive to me.
What is?
You're much more.
Because I'm a nice guy?
Yeah, you're much more multifaceted.
You're aware
There's
of
so much
things.
more to you than I thought that there would be just from the work.
Depth, baby.
That's it.
When
I
you-
didn't want to say it.
When you
Depth
can
is
when you
exactly
can
it.
fake depth, you
Oh,
got it
I
made.
see. It's baked up. All right. Seinfeld, Curb Your Enthusiasm, on the way to Mad Men. Just that's where I want to go. Okay.
Sure.
I'm conscientious of your time. Seinfeld.
Look how fascinating I am.
Seinfeld
Jesus Christ.
is a big
time
deal.
is flying by. Have you laughed this
flying
hard?
by.
When's the last time you laughed this hard? Nicole,
It's been a while.
yeah. I enjoy making people laugh.
You're good at it. You should. I
Well,
would
thanks,
hope.
but, everybody does.
Did you enjoy your first Letterman? Did you like the
Yeah,
the
I was
November
on
13th? You
fire,
liked it?
nerves, but yeah, I was present. But it was so exciting, so scary. All the emotions, boom, 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 boom. This is it.
Being in that NBC room was something special, wasn't it?
yeah.
Wasn't there something about the energy in that?
And 30
that room?
Rock,
Yeah.
in the building.
That's what I
And I'd
mean.
worked there a couple years before on Lorne Michaels' show, the new show. We did, it was almost the
You
same.
mentioned that before. I didn't know what that was. The new
Yeah,
show.
because you don't do your homework. Template.
Again.
I'm kidding. He's so much fun. you married the right guy.
I did.
Yeah, I know. It was the show Lorne Michaels did after he originally left SNL. He started it in 1984. It ran for 12 weeks, but I was one of the junior players on it, and so that was fun. So I'd worked in 30
That
Rock
was right before he came back to SNL.
Yeah, and then a couple years later after that, he came back to SNL. But yeah, it was exciting to be there. And Biff came backstage and said, "You got to shave a minute off your set." And I'd already had the minute ready to jettison.
Oh,
You already knew.
I already knew. I planned out the set in case they asked me to do short time because I heard that's what they did.
oh, okay.
I went the night before. Dennis Miller worked at SNL. He walked me into 30 Rock, and I stood in the spot the night
You
before.
are so effing smart. So you
No,
got
no,
your
it's not
perspective
smart.
and
I did that in
everything first.
college, man. If I had to take an exam, I'd go to the school at night, the night before, sit in the desk I would sit at, and study for the exam. That way, when I got to that desk, I
You're
was
not
comfortable.
feeling it the first time.
Yeah, exactly. But
so
still, I was.
impressed.
But you didn't.
These are little things, man. Little things that people do.
But
That
they're
made-
little,
That's a big deal to me.
there are little things that a lot of people don't know. So I love that you knew them and you talk about them.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I mean. You did it
This is-
conscientiously. It wasn't like, and they let me in, and it ended up working out well because I was more comfortable when I did it. I mean, you went there to
Yeah,
make
no, it was
yourself more comfortable.
because I had seen people that had died on Letterman. They looked. Excuse me. they looked uncomfortable. I wanted to come here last night and sit in the chair while you guys were sleeping. Break into the house and what are you doing here? This is my homework, man.
Yo, I would have paid
Go back to
for
bed.
that. I
I'm
would've
not stealing
paid
it.
for
I'd
that.
take one lava lamp. That's it. So I went the night before, and so I was comfortable, and it went really well.
Yeah.
But while I was doing it, I knew it was going well, so I was kind of split.
Oh man.
Of
enjoying
instead
it
of
and still
being
working.
present, but it was fun. Oh, I took. I was able to do 10. Like I said earlier, it was a point of pride to get on that show.
That's so cool. And you did panel too.
Yeah, I did a little panel.
Yeah.
I did Paul Harvey once, cracked him up on panel.
Paul Harvey, good day.
Yeah, the Albertson kids of Duluth, Minnesota have never had ice cream. I said never had ice cream. The sweet summer treat we all eat. They never had. Till their mother died, the father took the kids down to the local ice cream store.
So good.
On the way, the car turned, burned, 5 dead. Page 2. And when I was doing that, Letterman
If
was
anyone
cracking
doesn't know
up.
who Paul Harvey
Yeah.
is, this is identical. This is exactly. I mean, I heard him on a little transistor radio. My grandfather
Yeah,
carried all
yeah.
around.
But Letterman was cracking up the whole time. So that was it
Oh
was
my
fun to make
gosh.
him laugh. It was a point of pride to hear Letterman laugh. Because he's there every night. He hears all kinds of.
That's
comedians.
like making the teacher laugh.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
A little bit better with Letterman, but yeah, I get your point.
Well, if you can make
You
a nun
see it
laugh.
all, and then host everything.
Letterman's not going to laugh for you.
Yeah.
He's laughing because it's funny.
No, he's not gonna fake laugh for you.
No
Let me
reason
help
to.
the kid out.
Right.
You know.
Right.
He doesn't do that.
No, he doesn't.
Letterman. I mean, Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Just because that was one of the biggest shows of all time.
Yeah, loved it.
Yeah?
Loved it. Yeah.
What'd
Did you
you do
work
on
towards
it?
that as well, or was that
I
one of those
put
you
it in.
just
I
took
put
the
it
audition?
I put it on my vision board.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I did. And I got on the show, so that was nice. And I've known Larry and Jerry for years.
Okay.
They were two of my favorite comedians when I was a young comedian. Couldn't be more different. And when they hit on Seinfeld, I said, "This business works."
Because you thought they should.
Ray
get it.
Romano, this business works. Jon Stewart, this business works.
Wow.
You knew the funny.
Yeah, I knew they were good and they're talented, and of course they stayed with it, got the breaks, and used it.
That's why you know comedy. Hey,
No, I wish.
Mad Men. You can look around here. You see, I was influenced by that show. Just
Yeah.
it captured an era that I grew up with my dad talking about. My dad did his apprenticeship.
But you weren't there
Madison
during that
Avenue.
era.
No.
What year were you born?
77.
Okay. Way 7 years after Mad Men ended, you were born.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, kid. I grew up. I was Sally's age, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah,
sure.
The daughter.
Yeah,
Okay.
Karen Shipka. I was her age.
Don Draper's daughter.
Yeah, so I was.
Oh, you got a great scene with her. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I wanted to work with her too, and it happened. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So, Mad Men, my wife and I, it was our favorite show. Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
I didn't watch it because I didn't like AMC because they cut up movies.
That's me too.
And someone said, "You got to watch the show." I said, "Okay."
Commercial.
So I went on demand. It was 6 episodes already the first season. That was 6 hours out of my day.
Yep.
It was like I couldn't get away.
Couldn't turn
Then
it
my
off.
wife came home and we watched it together. Excuse me.
Was it the story or the visual stimulation?
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything about the show.
It was beautifully intertwined.
Everything about the show hit me in the gut. And of course, it was a fantastic show.
Yeah.
That era. If it had been a okay show, I still would have watched it.
I'm the
You know.
exact same way. I watched Pan Am too. It's just I love that era.
So I know my manager, Naomi Odenkirk, she knew Matt Weiner. And I said, just get me in the room. I got to get on the show. They got me an audition for the opening of season 2 playing the doctor that talks to Liz when she just had the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get that part, but it
Good.
was a good audition.
Tiny part.
Yeah. There are no tiny
Sorry.
parts.
There
You know,
Who am
some
I?
actor
Who am I?
who did that part is watching this going, "Oh, tiny part."
He learned-
And then he's going to snap and get a gun and go down to the mall.
For you, this worked out better for you. But you're right.
And so I came in. I did it. I got the part. It was great. Worked my ass off. And then they brought the character back later that season. Oh, okay. And then I had to re-audition to play Lou because Matt Weiner saw my manager at a bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah. And he goes, "Can Allan Havey really act?" And she said, "Yeah, because I know Louis improvised." She goes, "No, Louis scripted because I had done Louis' show." And on
The
Louis'
FX, show.
yeah,
Yep.
and on that show, I wore a cardigan, and I parted my hair, like combed it. Usually, I comb it straight back, like this way, just in case the Mad Men producers, because I knew that it was a big industry show. So that was kind of like my first visual audition.
You are so gosh darn.
I-
right? Mr. Strategy over here.
And then I auditioned and re-auditioned for the show to play Lou, and it worked out.
Well, if I remember, there
you
was
talk about nerves. You talk about nerves.
Really?
Being on your favorite show and just containing your excitement. Hey, man, I love you.
and you're auditioning to keep your role, essentially, right?
Yes, I am. Because if it hadn't gone, if I had, and the first day they shot all my scenes in sequence, and I'm convinced if I had done a half-ass job, John Lithgow would have been Lou Avery, or they would have
Someone.
they would have grabbed, let's just spend the money, let's get a good actor in here. This guy can't cut it, but it worked out. Liz Moss was great to me. John Hamm, Slattery, Rich, the whole cast was, they didn't like, okay, you're new, we're going to help you. They just
Right.
assumed if you're here,
You can swim.
yes.
No coddling.
Yeah, and I didn't
It's
ask for
so
coddling.
good.
I didn't get coddling. The crew was great. There wasn't a bad, and it just kept getting better and better and better with
Just
each
to be on
episode.
those sets, living that life in those outfits, that wardrobe, the
imagine.
whole thing.
I get chill. It's never going to go away. The enjoyment.
And you got some good work to do on that.
Yes,
The thing
thank
with the
God I had
girl.
work to do because I had to concentrate and I couldn't tell anybody.
Oh, because it's so.
I
far in
lied to everybody
advance.
but my wife, which is unusual, as you know, in a marriage. So I couldn't. I signed a very serious NDA. Matt Weiner was very strict. I told nobody. My brother said, "Listen, are you doing it? You can tell me." I go, "If I told you, of course I tell you." I lied to my brother.
Wow.
I lost a friendship because of it.
But out of fear, you don't want this.
Whoa.
You don't
Yeah.
want to blow this. You don't want to blow this.
No.
Yeah, priorities.
No, so I had contained everything, and as an actor, it was great because you didn't talk about it. I'd come home, my wife said, "How'd it go?" Went great. That's all.
Oh wow.
That's all we said.
Compartmentalization.
She knew. She didn't want to know because she watched the show. She didn't read the script. A couple times she read some scenes with me, but mostly I kept it away from her.
Right, as a fan of the show, you want to experience the show.
Exactly. Billions. I'm on Billions now. I don't go to the table reads because they hold them in New York. So when they send me stuff, I just look for my part. I read that, get it down. If I need to know anything, I'll ask. That way I can watch the show as a fan. It's
Wow.
the best of both worlds.
That's the way to
that's
do
so
it.
Cool.
But God, I love being on Mad Men.
I think of the was it I don't remember what the name of the cartoon was, but you were writing a cartoons like a Beetle Bailey type of cartoon as well.
I thought you were a Mad Men fan.
Is that wrong?
That is so wrong.
What was it?
Scout's Honor.
Oh, that's right. Well, I knew it was your own version. It was your character's own version.
My characters,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
The writers did everything.
So, all right. For anybody who hasn't seen Mad Men, you should go watch it. But essentially, this guy.
No,
replaced-
don't.
We can say, can't we say?
No, we can't.
Oh, we can't say
Let
that.
people watch the show.
Okay, all right.
Let people
It's been
watch
off
the
the air
show.
for a few years, right?
I mean, listen, the writing was perfect. Direction was clear. The other actors were rock solid. It was almost
You're right, let them
effortless.
experience it.
If
You're
I
right.
didn't have to. I just got my stuff down and was able to. It wasn't like it was hard work, but God, I loved it. God, it's great.
Yeah. The character whose shoes you had to fill on the show, story-wise, are big ones. So I was- yes,
fuck
they
him.
were.
He was
Yes,
a
they
lush.
were.
He was a womanizer. Lou he had morals. Lou was a professional. This fucking drunkard, pussy hound, not Lou. People always say, yeah. So
Billions. Damon Lewis, right?
Damian Lewis, yeah.
Homeland. How is Billions?
I like it. It's a great set.
But you said you
great
watched
cast.
the show as well. I haven't actually seen
Yeah.
it.
No, most of my scenes were with Paul Giamatti.
Oh, he's
Who's-
great.
Love
What
that
a
guy.
nice guy.
Yeah, not only that, really good acting. I'm learning a lot from him just watching him. He loves to run lines. I like to run lines.
Oh, wow.
He's really good.
Oh, you're both Mr. Preparations.
Yeah, I mean, mine's from theater. I'm sure his is,
We didn't get to that. Did you do a lot of theater?
Yeah. Well, in
I came up
college.
through theater
in
as
college.
well, just black box
Not,
theater. Hello.
not a lot in New York because I got off in stand-up.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got in stand-up, I go, well, this satisfies everything.
Yeah, a little bit.
I
of
can
everything.
write. I'm producing it. I'm acting in it.
Acting and I'm on stage.
Yeah. So I'm getting the attention I need. I need attention.
Is there anything that you talk about? There's 3 or 4 things I mentioned that you said, yeah, I wanted to do that and I worked towards it. Is there anything currently that's out there that you want to work towards?
Yeah,
or
but
that
I
you
won't
are
talk
doing?
about it.
Oh,
Look
at you.
I'll talk to myself about it, but I'm not going to say, here's what I want to do.
But there are
Oh,
projects
yeah.
out there.
Oh, yeah.
So you're always future thinking, future planning.
Well, I stay present, but I said, okay, I just put it out there. This is what I want to do, and I'll do it until I can't, until I don't.
What is it?
Like there's certain individuals I've wanted to work with over the years. A few have died. Okay, that's gone. Just keep going ahead.
Right.
Don't
put too much energy towards that.
No.
Can't change it.
No. I mean, here's the thing. When I just had a young guy, 37, say to me, he wants to act more, he wants to do more, and I said, here's the thing. If you want a lot out of life, you got to start back at base camp. Go inside, change things about yourself that you're unhappy with. Either you're smoking or drinking, or you want to get in better shape, or you want to be a better person. If you work on yourself, you'll get more. It really works that way.
Yeah.
I know it sounds all
No,
spiritually and stuff like that, but
It's great
we
advice.
tell people all the time, do the work.
it works.
Do the work.
I'm living proof, and I'm not the only guy. I've learned from other people. So,
Gosh.
well, I'm 64, too. I've been
How do you
around.
feel at 64?
I feel great.
Yeah. Do you feel 64? Do you feel like what you should?
Well, when you're lying, when your voice goes up, I feel great. 64 is great. Yeah, it's okay.
Never been better.
Nicole, could you help me down to the car, please?
You got it.
I hope that you.
Yeah, I
have-
feel great. That's because I drink Mexican Coca-Cola with real pure cane sugar.
Yo, man,
Look,
you
you
wanted
at
a
least
Diet
know.
Coke.
What?
You at least know.
I know what.
You at least know what that is. A lot of people, it's Coke out of the bottle. They don't know that there's any difference.
Or people say call Mexican Coke. Don't be racist. Stop. Like the Indian,
says don't
the
be
Cleveland Indian. It's this big smiling, brave. Look at fucking Bob Big Boy. Big old white fat guy out there with a goofy haircut. That's not the way all white guys are. Don't get
Based on
caught
this-
up in logos and icons. Get caught up with people. If people, this logo is racist, it's like no, just don't be a racist, and you want to put that energy into going down to the immigration camps and passing out food or voting or becoming active in your community. That's what you do. You don't sit on fucking Facebook. White male privilege. Great. Okay. Fine.
Well, this all goes back to do the work inside.
Yes.
Once you do,
And,
what you put out is much, much better.
Yes, and in your community.
We definitely should wrap it up, but you just mentioned a couple things that made me think. Is there anybody in comedy that you like now that you're watching? Is there anybody
Well,
that you
so
like
many.
young
So
of the,
many.
of the current
Yes.
generation? Who are you watching?
Joe List, Adrian LaPalucci, Carmen Lynch, Gary Goldman. I really enjoy his work. God, there's a lot.
There's a lot of people
Marina
I don't
Franklin.
even know that you just
yeah,
mentioned.
no, there's a lot of good young comics out there, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. So, I have a lot of favorites.
Do you still go up and do you still do sets?
Yeah,
You do.
I just got back from Vegas last week.
Well, no, that's all right.
I'll go to
That's
the
like a touring thing.
when
You know
I'm-
what I mean? Like, do you go in town and do a set?
Yeah, I go to Hermosa practically
okay.
every weekend I can.
Oh,
and
The
it's a
Comedy
10
Magic
that room.
Club?
What? Yeah, and it's a 10 comic night, so that's where I see new comedians or comedians I don't know.
What night do you usually do that?
Friday, Saturday.
One of those.
I'm headlining Thursday, September 19th there.
Okay.
Later this year, I'm going
Well,
to.
that's a great time. Let's hit some dates. What do we have? Dates and social media.
I'm going. You just go on my website, ALLANHAVEY.com.
There we go.
Going to Glasgow, London, and Manchester. I was in Berlin recently in
Berlin?
April.
No
Yeah,
kidding.
Berlin. The comedian there with the most experience is maybe 8 years. It's a young, raw comedy town. There's no gatekeepers. They
It's
do-
still newish there.
Yes. So if you're a young comic and you don't want to worry about when am I going to get on TV, hell, go to Berlin, man. Great
Go
town.
to Germany.
Great comedians.
They had a Letterman too, didn't they? They had a Harold Schmidt was their Letterman. Had the same set and the same guy and the whole thing.
Well, you can go replicate your life there. then.
All right.
Jesus. Aren't you just happy? Being the Toluca Lake guy with the Letterman desk, is that the same microphone too?
It sure is.
Those are the microphones I grew up as a kid. I thought those were so cool.
Yeah.
And that's why Letterman
RCA-77.
had it.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's why I have it.
Okay. What else?
How you doing, Alan Havey? How's this experience been for you? We're done. We're wrapping it up right now.
Good.
How's this experience
Yeah.
been? Have you enjoyed it at all?
Yeah, it's the same old shit I talk about. I'm really tired about talking about myself. That's why I have a cat.
Would you ever consider doing one of these again? Doing a talk show?
The money's right,
That's what it comes down
and
to.
I'm creatively free. Which a
Here's
great
the
thing
thing.
about Night After Night down at HBO, 23rd Street. Kudos to them. Free reign.
That's what I was getting at.
That's
We
what I
weren't
know.
creatively held in.
I
it
think
was
that
brilliant.
show could work now. I think your
Yeah.
old show could work now.
It is working now. Other people ripped it off. Look
Really?
at you.
Who?
You.
You think?
No.
I
No.
think this looks a little bit of a bunch of things, but it really is closer to Tom Snyder than anything else, or Joe Franklin or something.
You know, it'd be sad if this wasn't going out. You guys just did this every week.
That's it.
was-
We've got the biggest names in comedy coming
there's
in.
no podcast. Everything here is fake.
Yeah.
This doesn't go out.
No.
You just do it to feel good.
This
Yeah.
was a great
Yeah,
time
I'm in
having this
show business.
conversation.
Yeah, no, it's
As
just
if.
this has been a lot of fun. Did you get the blue cards too?
Of course we got the blue card.
Yeah.
No, did you get them from Letterman?
Oh, no.
I thought maybe they had a big stack.
Surplus.
Look at you. Look at you.
So funny. Alan Havey, thank you so much for coming today.
Thanks for having me on.
Really appreciate
Means a
this
lot.
conversation, and
Yeah.
I really appreciate your work over the years.
Well, thank you.
There have been a lot of people who've sat here, but I genuinely mean I've seen your first Letterman appearance and a lot of the stuff you've done since. I
Fuck
really,
those
really-
other people that have been here before. This is it. This is like a breakthrough for you, isn't it?
Is it? Maybe. We'll see. I'll know later after I. Anyway.
Oh, you mentioned I'm on the show. Oh, it's going to come in.
Done
Oh,
deal.
is that it?
Oh, the quality of guest.
Maybe we'll start putting them out for people.
I'd give it a shot. Thanks, guys. I had a good time.
Mrs. Ryan, who do we have tomorrow?
Jamie Lynn.
Oh, tomorrow's Jamie Lynn Siegler. Oh, that's going to be good.
Oh,
That's gonna be good.
fantastic.
Yeah, Meadow
Yeah.
Soprano.
Yeah. No.
Did you watch The Sopranos?
Yes, I did. Sorry. Not a Game of Thrones guy.
No, me neither.
We hadn't seen it.
Mrs. Ryan, I love you so much. Alan Havey, we love you so much.
Really?
We love
Yeah.
everybody at home.
I
Please
grab
love
a
one
poster?
another. We will be back tomorrow with Jamie Lynn Siegler. See you then. You're clear. You're clear.
I broke the fun.